Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. I and James are back yet again.
We're back, and this time we've just gone through Halloween, and we've watched a brand new classic monster movie that we absolutely love to talk about. It's become my
Yes.
favorite classic monster, actually.
My heart's still set on Gilman, but this one's really good. Like, I love. Okay, so the movie we're about to talk about is fantastic. It's my favorite classic monster movie, but the creature's still my classic monster. There we go. Good job, brain. Woo! Now, before we get into this, we know that we said in the last episode that we were going to try to do a Halloween special. We do still intend on doing that. It's just going to be a few days late, at least.
Mildly.
So, mildly, whatever. Honestly, watch this episode comes out like during Thanksgiving, but
It still counts.
still counts. It's Halloween. It's Halloween all day if you're in the right mindset. But which I have a funny story, but we'll get into that a little later. You know what? Maybe I should just get this over with now. Just super quick. I know we're already derailing. We haven't even
No, it's just,
mentioned what we're talking about yet. But so I went to work today. November 1st. They already started playing Christmas music. I'm so fed up already.
Ari, Mariah Carey? Okay. Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
Fucking eldritch being.
Yeah. And I wish that all of this Christmas stuff would just go away and be invisible, which leads us into our topic for the day.
The
That was
Invisible
this.
Man. Claude
Yeah.
Rains, 1933.
Yes. So our main goal is gonna go ahead and just to try to talk about the Invisible Man. If we have time, and you guys will probably know this way before we do at this point, we may also get some time to talk about the creature as well. But based on what the thumbnail looks like, you guys already know what we're gonna be talking about, or what's gonna be a majority. So we're just gonna stop
You'll know
anyway.
by
So just because so basically, the Invisible Man, like James said, came back out in like 1933. It was
now. Yeah.
like
It had
I think this.
extremely impressive. I think it was the third thing that
What?
came out by Universal Studios
Yeah,
back
I
when they
can't
had
remember
a.
what his order was of the monster.
Pretty sure it was Frankenstein, then Phantom, and then Invisible Man.
Yeah. Actually, you're very very close. So basically, it's the order is Hunchback, Phantom, Dracula, then Invisible Man.
Really? So
Yes, he's the fourth
Frankenstein wasn't the original?
technically. Uh, Not original. Frankenstein came out. Why isn't it telling me? I'm trying to. Oh, here we go. The chronological universal monsters. Perfect. Thank you, IMDb. Perhaps. Yeah. So, oh, never mind. So, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde came out in 1913. The Hunchback came out in 1923. Phantom is 25. And then Dracula is 1931. Frankenstein was also in 1931, and then Mummy 32, and Invisible Man 33.
Okay,
So
so
he's
he's
technically
actually
the
one of the later
fifth.
ones. Yeah.
He's technically the fifth,
Okay. He's still pretty
but
up there in the early ones.
still very early though. So
Now
yeah.
this Invisible Man that we have here, 1933, based heavily off of the H.G. Wells book, which differs greatly from pretty much all of his sequels and all the remakes.
Mhm.
Hmm. And this Invisible Man, played by Claude Rains, who was a French actor actually, who this was his debut film in the U.S. They selected him specifically because he had a really powerful voice. The Invisible Man, you can't do a whole lot of facial acting when you're covered in bandages or invisible.
Yeah,
So
you can't see him.
they picked probably the most phenomenal actor they possibly could have to make this work.
Yeah, and James will know this, but right before we actually started recording, I was looking up one of the clips for the movie. If for any of those who've seen it, it's the clip where he takes off his bandages for the first time and just starts throwing insults at the police officer and the people trying to get him arrested for assaulting the guy who owns the hotel place that he's staying at.
Yeah, the Innkeeper.
Is it a Yeah, innkeepers. Like, is it a bed and breakfast? I can't remember what it was
This is
called.
an end.
Just an inn? Okay.
Yeah.
But oh my god, this devious little bastard is just so lovable in the worst way possible, and it's hilarious.
Yeah. That's the reason I love the Invisible Man so much. He has so much fucking personality to him. Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, like not even that, like just the and again, this movie came out in 1933. The effects for this movie is fantastic. Oh my god.
Absolutely beautiful.
I'm like, dude, I was sitting there watching and I'm like, this is amazing.
They
This is
have
awesome.
really, really well done invisibility special effects that were incredibly painstaking. Basically, used an older version of like modern green screening, where they
Hmm.
covered the actor in black velvet for his takes, and then had shots of the still background, and then edited them together. There's
Yeah,
one specific shot in here where he's unwrapping his head. Oh, excuse me.
you're good.
Uh, in his bedroom where he's going to go to bed, and that single shot, that's like maybe 4 seconds, maybe. That shot took four separate shots being stitched together.
Yeah, wasn't it like they took one of the front, back, side, and the other side? Or no, they took one of the window, the mirror, one of
Yeah,
his back, and then two
yeah. One of
something
his,
else.
yeah, it was the one of the his back, one of him unwrapping and then like the actual. So it was. I'm trying to think of the process again. It was the room, then it was him unwrapping, then it was another thing of the room in the background, and then there was another one of him unwrapping in front.
Hmm.
So it's four separate shots of back of him, that front of him, room again, just sandwiched together back in the days of when they had to do like actual like film cutting.
Oh wow.
Yeah, or this is a black and white film.
Yeah, but it's so well fucking done, man. Like, oh my god. And just again, what you said earlier about like, his character you can't see at all. And you don't actually get to see him until the end of the movie.
Yeah,
But just the way that he portrays everything, like it's like you don't even need to see him to get that emotion. You just hear it in his voice and with his mannerisms and how his body's moving. It's awesome.
he's absolutely Claude Rains did an absolutely phenomenal job at
So
this,
good.
and apparently this is a rumor I've heard. Apparently, when Claude Rains went to go see the film in a theater with someone, he sat
Hmm.
down and very loudly explained to the person next to him how each special effect was done.
Oh no, he
It
spoiled
was
your
it
movie.
was that guy in the theater. No, you see, very simply they used black velvet sitting in
Right.
the
Yeah, it's like that's a it's like you know what? I wonder if they even asked, like, hey, how did they do this? Or is it just like, anyway, I
I'm,
wasn't done. So
I'm based on just I know almost nothing about Claude Rains, but if we're going at all based on how he characterized the Invisible Man in there's no way anyone asked him. He just started.
yeah. Okay, so I just since you're talking about like I ripped up Claude Rains and stuff. I'm just gonna read this word for word for you, James. On the DVD short documentary, Claude Rains' daughter tells of a time when her father brought her to see a re-release of the movie, which is the Invisible Man, in the
Yeah.
theater in Pennsylvania years after it was made. It was bitterly cold and his face was completely covered by a hat and scarf. When he spoke to ask for the tickets, the attendant immediately recognized his voice and wanted to let them in for free. Rains was quite upset at this and demanded that he pay full price.
that's that's amazing.
Oh, it was his daughter. His daughter is telling. He was the one telling his daughter how the movie was made.
Ah, so he did it like years after. So I was picturing like this, like literally just happened. He's sitting there in the movie theater. See,
Like, yeah, yeah. The first time Claude Rains' daughter even saw her father on a movie was in 1950 when he took her to a showing of The Invisible Man in a small Pennsylvanian theater. When the film was playing, this is the same day. Rains was telling his daughter all about how it was made. The other theater patrons stopped watching the movie and instead listened to Rains' anecdotes.
just
He interrupted the entire fucking movie. I love that.
he's just such a showstopper. Anywhere he will, he'll yoink the show right out from them. He's just that cool,
Mhm.
impressive guy.
That's
Speaking of characterization, we just talk a little bit about the mannerisms of the Invisible Man here.
mhm.
So the Invisible Man. is a scientist at his core. He started out, he wanted to learn some secretive stuff about invisibility. He found this drug,
Yeah.
injected it underneath his
I
skin, which
thought he was trying to like find a drug, like drug just kind of came across how to become invisible. I thought that's what happened.
yeah, he was studying the stuff. He found this, was it Narcan? I think.
Not Narcan. It was not no, not meloxicam. That's an actual current drug. Give me 1 second.
I'll just look that up real quick.
Drugs. Drugs. Monocaine. I was kind of close.
Monocaine. Yeah. Yeah. His actual full name in the movie is Griffin. The fuck was his
Jack
actual last name?
Jack Griffin.
His full name was, yeah, his full name was Jack Griffin. He was pretty normal before he started injecting monocaine under his skin, but apparently monocaine has a side effect that he didn't know about because he hadn't read the German logs of the testing on it. It makes you go nuts, completely, utterly nuts. So he went from a pretty respectable guy, caring for his fiance, to cackling like a maniac, running around invisible with his completely naked, mind you, because gloves, like any clothing shows up on him, which is why he wraps his face to appear normal at times. So he's running around completely naked, cackling like a madman, yelling about world domination and pantsing police officers.
Of course, and derailing trains, entire trains.
Yes. Yeah, that's another key point. Is the Invisible Man has the highest kill count out of any of the classic monsters.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. So I was looking up the monocaine. Monocaine is a fictional drug in the 1933 film The Invisible Man. In that film sequel, The Invisible Man Returns, which I guess we gotta watch now, its name was changed to duocaine. Described by Dr. Cranley as terrible, monocaine was an obscure Indian drug with powerful bleaching properties. German scientists experimented with it on a dog, turning the animal dead white and driving it mad. Monocaine was used by Dr. Jack Griffin as the key ingredient in his invisibility formula, something he did without knowing about monocaine's ghastly side effects. Years later, Griffin's brother Frank used the drug in his experiments as well.
Oh yeah.
Ruh-roh, Reggie.
So he fucked up. He wasn't intending on going nuts and starting to kill a bunch of people, but he just
It
kind
just
of
kind of happened.
went nuts. It's a little sad because he just wanted to do something to make his name worthwhile as a scientist.
Yeah, didn't he also say that he wanted to try to become richer and stuff so he can support his fiance?
Yeah, he wanted to become. He wanted to get more to offer to her, so he wouldn't just be a poor struggling chemist anymore and be able to marry her fully.
Fully.
Yeah. But good lordy, that very first scene when the Invisible Man bursts through the door. There's not a single time in this movie where the Invisible Man, or Mr. Griffin here, says the word please.
Mm-hmm.
Strolls right up to the counter. I want a room. And a private sitting room. And I want to not be disturbed. No one. And just,
Yeah.
it's all demands throughout the entire movie. He tells
Yep.
people what to do and what they will do.
Yeah. As a very, very influential horror reactor once said, he is literally an invisibastard.
He's
He
just
is,
a jack.
oh my god, he is an absolute jackass. But it's in the best way possible.
It's in a very,
Like,
very entertaining way.
didn't he steal some child's bike at some point during the movie? He just threw it and he just threw it. He's like, no, I don't want this anymore. Yeet.
Yeah, he grabs the bike out from underneath someone's rear, pedals away on it, just to
For
cause a
3
scene.
seconds.
Yeah. Knocks over a broom, throws the bike at a crowd of people, picks up a broom, smacks someone in the face with the broom, then walks up behind an old man, throws his hat into the river, and wanders off after laughing at him. There's also a portion in there where he uses his newfound invisibility to stroll straight into a bank, pick up the entire bank drawer, walk straight out the front door, and instead of, stealing it, maybe using it for money, he goes, "Hey, a gift from the Invisible Man! Money! Money! Come in! Money!"
And money.
Yeah, no, that's a direct quote from the 1933.
Yeah.
Quote the Invisible Man, "Money, money, 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 money!"
Money.
There's also my personal favorite scene in the entire film, which comes a little bit later, where he's stolen the policeman's pants and is wearing them. And the scene opens up, you see a lady running from something, and you see just the pants skipping down the road, singing, "Here we go, gathering nuts in May." Clicked
Yeah.
his heels together at the end.
Like he's just having a great time as this lady is just screaming and just running. She's just fucking going. She wants nothing to do. She doesn't. She wants. She does
Uh, I was saying, yeah, the Invisible Man is a very, very confident Universal monster.
very. And he's very maniacal as well. Like, oh my god, the crap that this guy does throughout the movie is just crazy. Like, um, oh my god.
Oh yeah, throughout the entire portion of the film, he really tries to show himself off as being completely all-knowing. He could be anywhere at any point in time and can do whatever he wants.
Oh yeah, but like literally, think about if you think about it from like a deeper. Griffin's a brilliant dude. Like he found
Oh
the
yeah,
fucking way to find, turn himself invisible. But it seemed that as it went on, because of the thing with the drugs, he seemed to enjoy feeling the power that he gets out of being invisible,
yeah,
which is basically this power to hurt anybody without getting noticed. And it turns him into a sadistic bastard.
yeah. Because in the beginning of the film, he isn't quite as murderous. He starts out very simply wanting to change back. That's what he's moved to the village of Iping for. He's gone to the little inn there to work on getting back from normal. And in fact, sits there about pulling his non-existent hair out about it.
Hmm.
The entire first portion of the film is just characterized by him simply wanting to be left alone so he can work on his experiment and get back to normal.
Yeah. He was like, okay, I'm cool. Oh, this is cool. I found how to be invisible. Now I gotta find my way back so I can go ahead and see my fiance. Then it just turns like, you know what? I like this. I like being invisible and being a little bitch.
At first, I feel like he felt that first rush when he shoved the manager or the
Down the
owner
stairs.
down the stairs and heard him for the first time. And then he got far more confident, and he made that whole spectacle out of pulling all his bandages off and throwing them at the policeman.
Yeah. But also remember, like, he went back to that town twice.
Yeah, he
He
just
left
kept
and
on
he
wandering
came
back.
back. He's like, you know what? We'll do it again. This is funny. And then he went back to go ahead and grab his book so he can finish his experiment. And then he went back a second time to get Kemp because he said, oh, I'm going to kill you, you little bastard, because you called the cops on me. And he
Ah,
did.
Kemp.
He
Kemp.
did it twice.
Oh yeah, Kemp is a very interesting character in difference to the book. In the book, he is not nearly. He's a pretty competent character. He actually survives the end of this book. In the
Hmm.
movie, he is a sniveling little jackass
And a
that
coward.
and a massive coward. I
Can I? Sorry, go ahead.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just like, can we just talk about, that scene in the movie?
Which scene?
Oh, for a warning, I guess we probably should have said it earlier. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen the movie.
Yeah, this was
We're a
massive
little
spoiler.
late on that note.
This entire
uh,
thing's been massive spoiler so far, but it's been out. It's been out since 1933. You guys have had time.
you guys had time, it's fine. But that scene where Kemp gets away and he's in his car going back, I guess, to his house or something. Don't know where he's going. And he doesn't realize that Griffin's in the back seat with him. And then it goes from there. That scene.
Are you talking about the portion where
Kemp fucking dies,
yeah,
yes.
where a really violent Buster Keaton-esque
My
kill?
favorite scene in the movie, by the way. Not just because of how it's evil, but the way that's fucking done is just fucking hilarious to me. And James, go ahead and explain this.
Yeah, especially because this is after he's vowed to kill Kemp at 10 o'clock the next day.
Exactly, yeah.
This the Invisible Man's always been very somewhat polite because even when threatening people, because as he's gotten fully invisible, the cops have surrounded the house. But at that point in time, Kemp
Hmm.
opens the window, and the Invisible Man very simply says to Kemp, "Thank you. You're always.
It's like,
I tell you, you were sure a true friend, someone to trust. And by tomorrow night at 10 a.m., you will be dead. Goodbye."
bye bye.
And then he shows up after they go through this whole song and dance of trying to not get Kemp killed, he's driving off into the countryside disguised, and the 10 o'clock bell tolls. Kemp's laughing because he thinks he's evaded him, and the Invisible Man already sitting in the back of the car. I think we've gone far enough, Kemp. Stop it right here. He'd been with him the entire step of the way. Not a single care in the world, just simply watching him the whole way. And then he strangles him, ties him up, insults him in the most brutal fashion, and
Just
then
throws him in the back seat of the car, and is like, "Well, good day, mate," and then just sends him out.
I want to try and find the quote real quick.
God, I'm trying to find it too because, oh my god, but it was so fucking good, man. Oh, yeah, here it is. I hope your car's insured, Kemp. I'm afraid there's going to be a nasty accident in a minute. A very nasty accident. Griffin, I'll do anything you just ask me. You will? That's fine. Just sit where you are. I'll get out and take the handbrake off and give you a little shove to help you on. You'll run gently down and through the railings, then you'll have a big thrill for 100 yards or so to hit a boulder. Then you'll do a somersault and probably break your arms, then a grand finish up with a broken neck. Well, goodbye, Kemp. I always said you were a dirty little coward. You're a dirty, sneaking little rat as well. Goodbye.
And with that, he kills him.
Just go. He does the handbrake and I don't. But it's so fucking funny. Just like, oh well, you suck. Anyway, bye bye.
Jesus Christ, there's some absolutely amazing. I looked at the IMDb page for some of his quotes in here. There's some fucking phenomenal ones. There's a really good one here where he was just straight. He was always been He's especially much a jackass to people he's just outright killing, because there's two he just randomly kills that are looking for him. They're just people out looking for him. He's strangling them. He just simply says, "Here I am. Aren't you pleased you found me?" And then throws him off a cliff.
Realize that he said "Pop goes the weasel" when he was throwing the box of money outside.
Yeah.
Oh. Speaking of which, James actually went as the Invisible Man for Halloween this year. I don't know if he said that already.
I have not actually, but yeah, me and Ashley here both went as Universal Monsters. I was the Invisible Man, and she was the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yes, well, I'll put the picture up for you guys so you can actually see what we looked like. But yeah, it was very fun. I never did a extensive costume like this before. Oh my god, it was a bitch to get the prosthetic off. Like literally, James was sitting there for almost 2 hours prying it off of my face. He can't. Because okay, I wear glasses. I can't see very well, so I obviously had limited vision, especially with a prosthetic on. So James was sitting there for almost 2 hours, just gently, just kind of just doing his thing. I'm like, man, he's so nice.
It was 2 hours and
I would have gotten
20
so
used
frustrated. So
2 hours and 20 used Q-tips and a lot of pain later.
Oh my
We
god.
were.
Go ahead, James. I'm sorry.
It was because we had the actual prosthetic that we acquired was from the FX Faces site. It's a phenomenal site. Really great people. Amazing latex, foam latex work.
Very comfortable.
They even sent us a little the hell was it, like the little sticky notes and little gifts inside the
Little
package
sticky
we got.
notes and then the little instruction kit it had to preserve the stuff. Like, oh my, this is so nice. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a proper like foam latex, professionally done mask. That it was so heavy we needed Prozaid instead of just spirit gum in order to apply it.
Yeah. But
And
Prozaid's actually better for sensitive skin as well. Not after that. Oh my god, my face makes the edges a little bit especially like around where my mouth and stuff is. It's still a little sore, but I think I just added too much glue around that area, so that was probably a mistake on my behalf, not the FX Faces. But very, very good, and I can actually still. I mean, the edges are a little torn, but I can just trim them up and reuse it. So
yeah, the Prozaid is a lot stronger and needed its own special remover, which we had a whole little process of trying to get because Amazon didn't want to ship them together.
Yeah, oh my god, we're not even gonna get into that. Fuck you, Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos.
Yeah, we're gonna get into a whole side tangent if we keep going on.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was what our Halloween costumes were this year. We went a little overboard.
The
But
ent-
it was very, very fun. I enjoyed it.
yeah, it was very
Um,
fun.
I look fancy, man.
The entire reason I got inspired to even watch The Invisible Man, which prompted me to also really to get excited about um, doing, you know, ooh, excuse me, going as him for Halloween, was we were recently at Halloween Horror Nights. This is just a little thing here, and they had
Mhm.
a house that was based off of some of the lesser known classic monsters. We did, of course, still have. It wasn't like Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein, the usual ones they put out in the houses. It was Invisible Man, of course, the 1933 one. Hunchback of Notre Dame, Phantom, and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It
Mhm.
was probably my favorite house in the whole one, despite some very dark segments. But somehow I got jump scared by the Invisible Man. He made me jump. A British guy wearing bandages made me jump, and I was like, you know what? I should go watch the film. And now we're here.
And now we are here. But oh my god, it's such a good movie too. But yeah, for the house, it just said, descend into the Paris catacombs, where you and your squad will face a new horde of monsters. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, the Phantom of Opera, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the Invisible Man. They're City of Lights, the dank catacombs of Paris has a much darker secret. But well, the house is over with millions of skeletal remains and even more sinister secrets. Deep within the catacombs, Universal's most notorious creatures, the Phantom of the Opera, the Hunchback of Notre Dame, Dr. Jekyll and his deranged alternate personality, Mr. Hyde, and the Dr. Jack Griffin, aka the Visible Man, also lie in wait as they bide their time and seek vengeance against guests after the opening of the catacombs to public visitation. These desperate and dangerous fiends have become filled with a rage towards guests navigating the twisted tunnels of their underground labyrinth home. It is here in this darkness where they hunt these trespassers and where the sounds of guest screams will go unheard.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite houses of this year.
Yes, it was
We'll
very
have
good.
a more in-depth video on this year's Halloween Horror Nights. That'll come out a
Yes,
little
that,
bit later down the line once this fully come out.
yeah. Last day for the event is going to be November 4th. So within our next episode is definitely going to be a review of the event, and we will once again bring Luna back. So be looking forward to see her amazing face again. So, because she went with us this year. Anyway, we should probably get back to our invisible man, if you will.
Oh yeah.
But anything else you want to add, James?
I think I'm all set for what I currently have to say about some generalizations. Do you have anything?
I have a feeling that I do, but I just oh man, there's something I wanted to say, but crap, I
Like
can't
specific
remember.
favorite scenes?
Well, the entire movie is my favorite scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, one thing that I did appreciate and like about the movie a lot is how they kind of like highlighted the two the pros and cons of invisibility. Like it's like two faces of a coin.
Huh.
Like cuz you have to like this very giddy child and like for like a child, he was pulling pranks without getting caught. All that
That's what.
he was like beating up people and cuz he's invisible, no one notices them. But within time, you also realize that his madness not only might not be from the dog, but because of how lonely he is. Because he's the only guy that cannot be seen. So this it's like isolation kind of gets him. Like he loses his friends, or he loses his friend, he loses his fiance. Like just ouch.
Oh yeah. He starts. I almost feel like he begins to believe he gets betrayed.
Mhm.
Sorry, don't mind the. Ashley's probably looking at the absolute flashing lights that are on my screen right now because I'm watching
Yeah,
another house walk
I'm
through.
yeah, I'm just like ooch, 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 ooch.
I was looking for another bit of the um, the Invisible Man in there. One of my favorite quotes is him talking about just how he's going to strangle someone. Just my fingers around your throat. He just says it in such a matter of fact way.
And it's like my fingers around your throat. Yuck.
It was one of the standout lines that, especially because I heard it in the house and it surprised me.
I know, that was so much fun.
He's such a well done monster.
Oh yeah. Absolutely 100%. I still find it really funny how when Kemp was in his house and then the radio comes on. I love how they was like, oh yeah, the Invisible Man works without clothing.
Yeah, and he almost immediately switches off the radio when it gets to a portion and just starts ranting about how they all deserved it.
Mhm. Mm. Off topic. I wonder how many dick copters he was able to get away with.
Oh, the Invis. That was something
What?
funny.
It's a good question.
He totally did that.
Exactly. Come on, he pants somebody. He probably gave a kid a wedgie off screen. Come on, he absolutely did a dick copter. Come on.
Yeah, that's a really big thing I'd like to point out is that the Invisible Man, most of the time, chooses relatively harmless pranks just to show that he can.
Oh, minus the train, but
Yeah,
it's, you
there's a
know,
couple
hey.
of times. There's only about 4 incidents where he directly did something to kill people, and that was something he had premeditated. He'd been talking about the train thing for a while. He was excited
God,
about killing people on the
that was
train.
like brought twice before he actually
Yeah.
did it. I'm like, oh man, he's really bringing up these trains. I'm like, oh my god, he fucking did it.
Very simply, he kept talking about all I gotta do is strangle the switchman operator, and I can kill just 100 people easy. There you go.
Yeah,
And
but
then
it's
he
so
went and did it.
funny. Yeah, yeah. I was even bringing up when we were watching the movie. I even brought up like, man, he really is talking about this train a lot. And when the train came up, I'm just like, oh my god, he fucking did it. I just couldn't stop laughing. And James was like, are you good? You're laughing at people dying. I'm like, come on. You cannot say that this isn't funny. Not because of the fact that people are dying, but the fact that he thought about this and did it.
Oh
And
yeah,
in the goofiest way.
I was happy about it too. It was amazing. I was laughing my ass off.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
And the only other real times he kills people in the film is Kemp, which was a very, very personal kill.
Absolutely. Well, because he
Yeah.
betrayed him.
Yeah. He was
He
really
actually
mad at
trusted
Kemp.
him, and then I would be too if my
Mm.
best friend. But if I was invisible and I went to visit my best friends, like, hey, yo, dog, I became invisible. I need your help. Uh, or just like, you know what? Just become invisible with me. We can just be little devious bastards together. A team
Yeah.
effort. And he's like, you know what? Nah, that's cringe. And he went behind my back and called the police. I would be salty too.
Yeah.
You know what? I would take back my. I would. I would not show them how to crip walk.
For reference, she's making that joke because my mom
I'm
recently told me
sorry.
a story where my my middle-aged mother taught someone how to crip walk at work.
I love your mom.
She's amazing.
She is my fucking inspiration for everything I want to be in my life. Every decision that I make from this here on, I will take inspiration from her. And this is reasons why. Your mom is fucking awesome, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
Oh yeah, she's phenomenal.
Oh my god. Anyway, anything else you want to add before we switch gears potentially?
Let's see. I
'Cause
would
I
like
know
to point out that
we went in so much detail. I know we always do.
I have a lot. I just like to say I have a really major soft spot for the Invisible Man because I absolutely adore like maniacal characters that really are almost overacted at a point to where they look like they're so fun to portray. It looked like Claude Rains had an amazing time portraying him. His laugh, that his absolutely trademark laugh you hear at times, was used to actually inspired uh, what was his name? How am I forgetting his name now? He played Luke
What guy?
Skywalker for Christ's sake.
Oh, um, Mark Hamill,
Yeah,
right?
Mark Hamill. Yeah, inspired Mark Hamill's version of Joker's laugh when he portrayed the
Really?
Joker. Yeah,
Oh my
if you
god.
if you compare the two side by side, which we might put in there for you guys,
Mhm.
it is very, very clear that one inspired the other.
Yeah. That's actually really I did not know that.
Yeah, I heard that there was a interview where Mark Hamill was talking about it, where he said that his inspiration for that was the Invisible Man's laugh.
That's really fucking cool. Also, his fiance, Jack Griffin's fiance, Gloria was not Gloria. No, that was the actress. Gloria Stewart
Flora.
who played her. Flora was played by Gloria Stewart. My bad.
Yeah.
She was the actress that played Old Rose in the fucking Titanic.
Yeah,
Not that
you
I've
see,
seen the Titanic, but
if you like the Titanic movies, you've probably seen Flora, just admittedly much older now, because the movies are set
mhm.
very far apart. I think that was one of
Yes.
her first major acting film things she did. She was pretty young in the film, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Oh, another thing that we didn't talk about Kemp. Kemp is trying to steal our man's girl.
Oh yeah, Kemp. He both has a picture of Flora, which is Griffin's fiance, on his mantelpiece. But also, in the middle of her start sobbing about Griffin being away for too long, he tries to tell her that Griffin doesn't love her and that he should go for her instead. Which, of course, she tells him to shut the hell up and starts sobbing even more.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
you bastards, leave me
Yeah.
alone.
I was just looking through another house walkthrough of the uh, Universal Monsters one we went to recently. I'm
Mhm.
so sad we missed this here, but with the constable at the top, that's like waving people on to go into the
Yeah.
catacombs. In the clip I'm watching right here, he's being harassed by the Invisible Man.
You didn't know that?
No,
I got that. I got that right away.
in the one we did, what I've heard was I just heard him, "Come on, keep moving, keep moving. We gotta clear these streets," is what I heard when we were walking through there. But in this one, in this little recording here, I'm hearing, "Yeah, I ought to have you arrested. Leave me alone. You'll never catch me, constable." Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Oh no, I caught that. I'm like, why is he swatting? Like, oh, it's the Invisible Man. He can't see it. Ha ha.
It's amazing. I can't believe I never caught that before. That's even better now that I know that.
You know what I just realized? Poor fucking Flora. Both of the men that knew her, fucking died.
Yeah, it was only her father that was really left. Wow. She had a, that's horrible.
She lost her fiance. Damn.
Yeah. They lost her fiance, watched him die right in front of her eyes. It's almost really kind of sad because a lot of Kemp did kind of sabotage some of the bits in there because he
Yeah,
got so scared
I
of the
think he
Invisible
did.
Man. If he hadn't called the police and instead worked with Flora's father and them
Mhm.
trying to recapture the Invisible Man and simply correct the effects, he might have lived and might have gone back to being normal. But
Yeah.
Kemp was afraid.
Or what about the fact that both of the guys were just like, to Flora's like, oh, no, you don't want to do that. But
Yeah,
she was in the right idea though. So if
yeah,
they just listened to her, maybe that would have also helped too.
yes, because she wanted to be able to, live the rest of her life with the man she loved.
Yeah.
Instead of him doing something, continuing to do something stupid, and everyone else having to react to it.
Mhm.
God, if only Griffin had listened to her, because I know he was going mad. But
Yeah.
there's a portion in the movie where they finally met up back again. They're talking with each other, and Griffin just will not listen to her to stop the things he's doing so he can get well again, and just keeps just keeps yelling about power.
Power, power. Like
I
she
make
was
the
just
world
saying,
girl
oh,
fall at my feet.
yeah, it was like, oh, we can do this. We can fix this. Don't worry. He's like, you know what? No, I want fame and fortune and power.
Yeah. It's really a shame
So
what
no
happened
one
to
was really
Flora.
listening to her at all. Even her fiance wasn't listening to her.
Yeah, which is unfortunately rather common when compared to a lot of treatment of women in that time.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie. But now that we've seemed to have mostly wrapped up our thoughts on that, we will now switch gears to another very, very phenomenal Universal Monster movie.
My favorite this time, I guess.
Your favorite.
So, I am a big fan of the creature from the Black Lagoon. If you take a look around my room or anything that I own, everything I do, I don't even know. Have I mentioned this in the past episodes? I don't know, but I have a lot of shit that's creature. I have a creature plushie. Uh, I got tarot cards that have the creature on them. I have a creature skirt that I'm wearing actually right now as we speak.
Yeah.
I got a creature keychain, two creature purses. Um, I have tons of creature pins. I have so much creature shit. Oh, and a
Lots of creature
costume
shit.
and a mask. Yep. So much stuff. So I'm a huge fan of the creature from the Black Lagoon. I've been for a long time, but I don't even know where to start with this. But it's the last of the classic monsters to come out that I know.
The most
Uh,
recent, yes.
yeah, most recent monster to my knowledge that came out. The movie came out in February of 1954. So it's a little newer. Um and basically it follows these people that go on a boat to the Amazon that are trying to find a okay, so basically they're trying to find a amphibious humanoid creature in the Amazon to bring back for scientific research because they were doing like a excavation site in the beginning of the movie and they found this fossilized hand of Gilman's ancestors here. And they're like, oh, we need to go find this guy.
Yeah.
Funny enough, fun fact, I think we've mentioned this before, but both James and I do live in Florida. Um, where the creature from the Black Lagoon was filmed is actually pretty close to where we live.
Yeah. A lot of specifically the underwater scenes of the film.
Yeah. But yeah, so Rico Browning did all the underwater scenes for the creature.
Which I just want to say massive fucking props to that unit of an actor who who somehow got the ability to don a giant latex suit, or was it rubber at the time?
Like I think it was rubber.
Yeah, a giant extruded rubber suit and free dive into the bottom of a river.
And that
This
was a really fucking heavy suit. I can't remember
yes.
how. Oh, it was latex.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Latex.
This was around the time that latex started getting more popular in
Oh,
filmmaking.
so the costume had to be made for both Chapman and Browning. It had to be adaptable to either land or water. The total cost to make the suit was $15,000. Ben Chapman would put on a body stocking, and the scales made of rubber were glued onto the body stocking. So it was rubber, I think, a mixture.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seriously impressed with just the fact that he even went through with that. That sounds horribly claustrophobic. Like it'd feel like you're drowning the whole time. I'm just impressed,
But
especially
yeah,
with the fact that he free dived in it.
yeah. So the land scenes were shot in California, and then the water scenes were shot in Jacksonville, Marineland, and Silver Springs.
Yeah,
So mixture of places. Oh my god. The on-water scenes were filmed at Park Lake on the Universal backlot. The costume made sitting impossible, and it overheated easily, and they would wear it for at least 14 hours a day during filming.
this was some serious like. We've heard a lot of. You've all heard about, I'm sure, how extremely strenuous Texas Chainsaw was filming.
Oh my god.
Imagine that heat, 14 hours, and you're stuck inside a rubber suit. This
Oh my
is what he.
god. What
Hmm?
happened? Sorry, I just saw something and I'll say it to you, but go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just talking about the how extraneous that heat must have been.
Oh god, it's crazy. Didn't they film it in Texas or something? Or
Yeah, it
Arizona?
was in Texas. It was in Texas, I believe, and it was the dinner scene specifically was shot with actual food and actual props around there that were rotting because of the
Oh, that
sheer
must have
heat
smelled
around it.
awful.
So it smelled like garbage. They had blackout curtains all over the set to make it look like night, and it was filmed in the middle of the day.
Oh, that would have been fucking miserable.
They legitimately there's points in there that you guys are seeing where it was not acting. They legitimately wanted to kill each other a couple times. Like I remember Gunnar Hansen, I think that's his name, the guy who played Leatherface. There's a bit where they go to cut Sally's finger,
Mhm.
and when they give the order to like kill the actor. Now these two in real life have been close friends. She actually was the one who got him on the set to be Leatherface because she kind of asked him to because they were buddies.
Mhm.
So she asked. It went from they're very close friends. In this film, when they gave that kill order, he remembers recalling that he legitimately, for a few seconds, fully intended on killing her.
Oh my god.
They went a little mad during those extreme long shooting times while it smelled terrible and we're sitting in that horribly hot house.
I bet.
I feel very bad for those poor actors. A lot of them were very, very angry at the director and never wanted to see him ever again.
Hmm. Who is the director of Texas Chainsaw?
Let's see. Toby Hooper.
Isn't it the guy that also did the Poltergeist movie?
I think so. Let's
Dang.
see. Toby Hooper. Filmography. Texas Chainsaw. Yep, Poltergeist.
Dang.
A couple of them.
Dang.
Yeah. The stars of Texas Chainsaw were very, very unhappy with Mr. Hooper there.
Oh, I bet.
And you know what? For frankly good reason. It was very, very low budget. Yeah. They shot for up to 16 hours a day, doing brutally hot temperatures, super high humidity.
Oh my god. Yeah. Let's see. Just trying to read here.
Oh, he also remade the 1953 film Invaders from Mars. It's kind of
Oh,
cool.
sweet. Yeah, apparently they were not really. Oh yeah. Um, discussed the horrific working conditions he established. He littered the set with real animal carcass and skeletal remains. Believe it or not, some of the skeletons you see in the Leatherface family farmhouse are those of real humans.
Hmm. They went to mortuaries, I
How
believe.
they get real people?
I don't quite remember, but they went through a lot of hoops to get this.
Oh my god. Oh, he explained it. Hooper explained that it'd be cheaper to buy real skeletons from India than to buy plastic props. He
Oh
reused
yeah,
and then he reused them again in Poltergeist.
oh yeah,
He
I
added
remember that.
he added that because more lights were needed to make the movie black and lighting on set cooked the bones, which produced a foul odor. Hooper also said he didn't let Paul A. Parton eat lunch with the rest of the cast and bathe. His character is somewhat treated as an outcast, he further explained. There were ways of creating tension. Everybody in the cast and crew was synchronized, but the work was very demanding. At the end of filming, everyone hated me. It took years to reestablish those friendships, but I knew what I needed to get. So all of the actors became part of the circling energy that it had a lot of tension in it. And we were so isolated working on that set in Round Rock. So if this energy started to spin fast enough, it would start to grow in the atmosphere from sky to ground. And that's what I was trying to achieve. Marilyn Burns said to suffer the most.
Oh yeah, Marilyn
Uh,
Burns. She actually legitimately got cut in that scene where they held out
mm,
her hand and where they make that first nick and the grandpa starts kind of like drinking from her finger. That's a real cut.
wait, what?
Yeah, they got exasperated by the blood little pump that wasn't working very well,
Mm-hmm.
and so they just actually cut her finger.
Oh my god.
I fully agree. Yeah, she probably did suffer the worst.
Oh yeah. Jesus Christ.
Just reading about the atrocities of Texas
Yeah,
Chainsaw.
oh my god, I had no idea.
It's still a really good film, though.
Yeah, it is, but oh my god. That's crazy. But I was saying earlier if we got but apparently the costume pieces for Creature were actually discarded by Universal. And then just some guy, one of the janitors at the studio, just found them laying in a dumpster, and then he's like, "Oh, this would be fantastic for a Halloween costume for his son." So he did.
And that's how they kept it alive. That's amazing.
That's literally how they got preserved.
Because a worker found it in a dumpster. I can't believe they threw out the suit after someone spent all that time making it.
Yeah, and then yeah, and then they was sold at auction. Oh yeah.
What?
Anyway, by the way, for anyone who's wondering, a lady made the creature. Don't let no man tell you otherwise. Millicent Patrick, look her up. She's the person who actually designed the monster.
Oh, she designed the monster and like went
She is
about the
the
process of
one who
making it.
came up with the creature. Yes.
That's amazing.
It was not a guy that made him. It was a woman.
That's amazing. I remember that was a whole thing for a while of the problem of some guy taking credit of it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so she made it. Rico Browning, a professional diver and swimmer, was required to hold his breath for up to 4 minutes at a time for his underwater role. The director's logic was that the air would have to travel through the monster's gills, and thus air bubbles from his mouth or nose must not be seen. Thus, the costume was designed without an air tank. In the subsequent films, this detail was ignored, and air can be seen emanating from the top of the creature's head.
Yeah. I guess they kind of
Oh,
realized, okay, maybe we shouldn't force him to hold his breath that long.
yeah. Let's see. This is funny. So when the creature attacks Z, the script called for him to pick him up and throw him into the camera for a 3D effect. However, the wires that was used to lift the guy kept breaking, so they just decided to just have him strangled.
Ah, that also works. That would have been amazing if he'd gotten thrown into the camera. I would have loved that shot.
Okay, this is fucking hilarious. I didn't know this. The creature spins in the water while fighting its prey like crocodiles and alligators do.
Oh, he does a death roll? That's
He does a
beautiful.
I thought this was just imagine just like having the creature grab you, just doing.
It's
You guys
especially
can't see
funny
my
because
screen, but
it's especially funny because of the fact that he doesn't have jaws to death roll with, so it doesn't do much.
oh my god. You know what? I want to. Hey, who do you think would win in a fight? The Invisible Man and or the creature? No, who would win in a fight if all three of these guys went up together? The Invisible Man, the creature, or the Queen Xenomorph?
If the second the Invisible Man saw the Queen, he'd fuck off.
He's like, you know what? No, nah.
He would most certainly can just go, oh, goodbye,
I'm out. See ya.
and leave. Yeah.
You wouldn't even you think that he wouldn't even try?
Yeah. And the
Fair.
creature would probably run off too, because both of them know how to pick their fights.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm
Yeah.
out. I'm good.
Or he would have tried to get like a really sneaky hit behind her, or just jab at her from behind. But
Mhm.
inevitably, I feel like the Queen would thrash around to the point where she'd catch him right across the middle with her tail.
That's great.
But some other bits. It's been a little while. We recently saw the Invisible Man. The creature. It's been a couple years, so we're trying to remember bits of the scene to talk about a little better.
Yeah. I think the last time that I saw it was when I had COVID, like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
So it's been a
and I
little
haven't
bit.
watched it in about 5 years now. I don't think it's been a while. It's been a while.
Oh, this is cool. So I found like a little thing about actually like from the one of the parks that actually was the one of the sites for the movie. Um, let's see. Let's just move my little the mirror here. The film's plot centered around an Amazonian expedition gone area when a scientific team encountered the mysterious Gillman. The creature became enamored with a member of the team, played by Julie Adams, and kidnapped her after escaping from the scientist's grasp. The filmmakers visited Wakula Springs, south of Tallahassee, while scouting locations for the film. They were introduced to a young FSU student and part-time lifeguard at the Springs named Rico Browning. Director Jack Arnold eventually cast Browning to play the part of the creature doing underwater scenes.
Oh, he was an
Browning,
FSU student.
yeah, so actually he worked at the park, and they're like, you know what, you're really good at this. We're gonna give you a job.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
that is really cool. Browning parlayed this experience into a subsequent career in film and television. The filmmakers used Florida's natural beauty again as the backdrop while filming the sequel, Revenge of the Creature, which came out in 1955, which came out a year after. The Revenge featured footage shot at Silver Springs mainland and along the St. Johns River near Jacksonville, Florida. Scenes from the third and final installment in the series, The Creature Walks Among Us, which came out the year after that, were also filmed in the Sunshine State, with parts filmed at both Silver Springs and at Wakula Springs.
Yeah.
So that's really neat.
That's really nice.
Very, very cool.
It's good seeing some local people in the film.
Let's see.
That's also an interesting thing to point out about the Creatures from the Black Lagoon is it's almost a twisted love story.
A little bit. Oh my god. Okay. Since you bring that up, do you want to? Since we're on this topic, has anyone ever that has maybe been to or have seen footage of a particular show at Universal Hollywood? Oh, James he knows what I'm about to talk about. You know what, James?
Yes.
So, for a time, there was a creature from Black Lagoon, the musical.
At Universal Studios.
Yes. And let's just okay, so it was really interesting. Apparently, I never been to California really. I've been maybe once within the last year, and that's just to go see Death Valley. I've never been to the actual populated parts. But apparently there was the set was beautiful and very impressive. But
Yes, we've seen clips of it. The set looks beautiful. They did a great job designing a lot of portions of this.
the
But
costume actually looks really cool too.
there's a big old butt in front after that.
All right, what's your butt, James? What butt are you butting?
The actual only problem I really had with the musical was the fact that for some reason they gave the creature speaking lines and singing lines.
I was gonna say not just singing.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because whatever this is not the fault of whoever portrayed these characters, by the way. I want to make that very clear. I'm not attacking whoever the people that put so much time and effort into making these phenomenal pieces, because I've been in musical theater before. I love musical theater. I just think it was a terrible decision, writing wise, to make the creature communicate directly, because that takes away a lot of the plot of the film, that he cannot communicate and becomes obsessed with this girl and cannot talk to her.
Yeah.
And it's just also the actor that they had portray the creature has a very teenage boy-esque sounding singing voice.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded more as though it would be bits from, I'd say, High School Musical or another a stage play where he'd be playing like a much younger character. But it's coming out of the creature. So it just gave him a more comical feel, in my opinion.
Not even that, just you know what's really funny? I remember one song was named Prime Evil.
Prime Evil, I get it. I get what they're saying.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Prime Evil, with the Prime Evil fish, Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Okay, but here's the thing. So, the reason why I bring this up is, so from the start going into the musical, if you're watching it, it's it's like, okay, this is not 100% movie accurate. It's not going to be, but it's
Yeah.
it's going pretty well. There's a point in the musical where the creature kidnaps Kay and he takes her back to his lair. This did not happen in the original script material of the movie, but yeah, but so basically, the creature basically takes her back to this lair that basically resembles an underwater grotto bachelor pad, and
Yeah.
they have like this duet, which is called "Strange New Hunger," and yeah, that's the name of the song. You could
I'm sorry.
go ahead. You caught
Strange
me.
new hunger.
You caught you caught me off guard, there, honey.
I'm sorry for laughing. So that's probably gonna peek out the mic there, but that was just
No,
something.
okay. But wait, no, honey, it gets better. So, "Strange New Hunger" is the name of the song, and they kind of, I guess, bond during this. Really gross. Um, and so Mark, David, and then the other scientists, they come in to save her. The creature, who's named Gil, not Gil Man or anything, just Gil,
Yo.
um, gets shot with this spear gun, and apparently the spear gun in question was actually covered with human growth hormones, and the creature goes and reaches to 25 feet in like height. This guy's ginormous, and Kay sings this encore of the previous song that I'm not gonna say for James's sanity, and she goes up to Gil on a vine, and before he could stop himself, he fucking eats her.
Yes. And this is actually a really impressive animatronic they made for this. It's absolutely
Huge.
monstrous
It looks really good.
puppet that was made. It was phenomenal. This looks
Mhm.
beautiful. I'm sad that a lot of it's missing now because of that.
Yeah, but oh my god, this show was just fucking horny bait. I swear to God, this is somebody's fan fiction. I swear.
I just realized that she gets a award.
Hmm?
I just realized that means she gets a award.
She get
Mm.
James, no. James, no.
Oh no, man. Oh, so who the fuck wrote this play, man?
Okay, you know what? Okay, so so this nice woman who works for this bunch of asshole scientists go to this large humanoid amphibian creature, and she's struck by this fish man's otherworldly beauty, like the scales, his beautiful personality, his impressively buff musculature, and
This is like a Wattpad.
everyone's like, "Oh, you can't do that. He's a monster and you're a girl. You can't love him." And she's like, nuh-uh."
Oh my fucking god.
My God, I wonder if this is where they got the idea for Shape of Water from.
That's pretty much the plot of Shape of Water.
Water. At least you see, why did it make it so fucking horny?
So
And it only
really,
ran for 2 months too.
oh, it's a shame. I wish I could have seen it.
But it's so funny. The reason, because everyone's like, everyone called it an abomination.
I would have gone to see it. As much as I'm ragging on it now, I would have totally gone to see it.
Would have seen it just to laugh at it. But oh my god.
Oh my fucking god. I didn't.
Strange new hunger, baby.
It took until you told me that she gets eaten like that in that context for me to finally realize.
Oh no.
Oh,
Think
oh,
about it.
they did
Oh
put
my
that in.
god, there's another song in here called Slay Me. Oh my god, James. Okay, let me read. Do you mind if I? Are you good? I get to see you just slumped up back there. Hey, honey, do you mind if I read you the part of this song called "Slay Me"?
Yeah.
All right. So we got engulf and devour me. Please overpower me. A creature who can slay me, who can slay me. Crazy, drive me crazy. Fry me and fillet me. You know what? You know what to do, and I will slay you too. Fry me and fillet me. Are you serious? Oh God. Oh
Uh,
my
fucking
God.
fine.
Also, I'm just gonna say her fiance, Kay's fiance, in the play literally looks like um God, not what's the guy, the villain name from Spaceball? Is it Darth Helmet? I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah, it's Darth Helmet.
Darth Helmet. Okay, I can't remember if it's Darth or Master Helmet. Uh oh my God, this is okay. I'm gonna read you more uh song lyrics. Oh my God. My evil you can't overstate. Like Arnold, I will like Arnold, I will
Uh,
oh, not even Arnold, like Arnold, I will terminate. And when, oh my God, it gets worse. And when I need to procreate, I'm a Kama Sutra fan.
what?
Anyway,
Wasn't this considered like PG?
I don't even know what the fucking show's rating was. I think it was like
This was like a
PG.
fan. This was like a
I think
family-esque show.
I think this was just a rated G show. I think.
How was the kid go?
Oh my
I
God.
I
Oh,
gotta
that
use
was in
this one.
Strange New Hunger, by the way, of course. Hello. All right, guys. So I found something while James is doing his little potty break. um, I'll just read this to you, James. By the end of the show, the creature has been shot with a spear dipped in A-Rod's growth hormone, which Mark has evidently been using to enlarge his penis. They said this in the show.
Oh my good
Side
god.
note, this is a canny update of the original film's weapons, which are creamy phallic spear guns that splurt out clouds of white liquid meant to knock out the creature.
What were they on when they watched the film?
I don't even know. Did they even watch the movie?
They looked at spears and went, "Ha, penis."
Haha, dick. Oh God. Why? Jesus Christ. I love how we're just talking about the musical rather than the actual film.
Yeah, the actual film was really phenomenal, guys. It's like we promise.
Mm-hmm.
We're, if you haven't, please go watch the original Invisible Man, the original Creature of the Black Lagoon. They're all amazing films.
They are very, very good. Excuse me. Um, but I guess we should probably actually switch tracks to the
Back to the actual.
actual film. But oh God. Damn. But anyway. Anyway, Creature from the Black Lagoon, the musical, everybody. But yeah, so what I really love about the classics more than anything, and I know that we're probably doing a really horrible job of explaining stuff, but there's just so much stuff to really go over. It's really hard to kind of like wrap around what point to start at and where to go from here. There's just
Oh
so
yeah,
much effort that's put into these movies, even with them being decades old. Decades old.
That's one of the things I love so much about the films is despite being decades old, I personally believe they still hold up.
They do. They absolutely do. Especially like the
Espe-
humor and just the effects are fantastic still. The humor and the dialogue is good. The characters are good. The monsters are well done, especially with Jack Griffin because honestly, they did really good at making a jackass character lovable.
yeah, like I honestly felt like I was rooting for the Invisible Man a large portion of the film.
Yeah, literally. I mean, he inspired you so much that you wanted to be him for Halloween. So I mean, he did
Yeah.
his job, you know.
Honestly, I think that links back to what I said during a Rob Zombie one about the introduction of characters and how that makes you bond with them.
Mhm.
Because, like in House of a Thousand Corpses, we bond with Captain Spaulding because we see him at first. In The Invisible Man, we bond with him because he's the very first character we see, and we get to see the most of him. Ironically,
Oh yeah.
I just think that's another unique, like time where characters become far more charming than if they'd been introduced later.
Yeah. But like seriously, if you really think about it, the classics are fucking essential cuz they're like basically the groundbreaking for horror. Like in
Yeah,
these movies, they're what basically created all these stuff that we have now.
yeah, they're essentially they laid the groundwork for what is horror nowadays, and I really, really love watching these original films because at that time, filmmaking was so much more of an art form. It was
Oh
they
yeah.
put a lot of effort into making it how they wanted to make it, rather than having CEOs breathing down their necks about how much they should be making.
Oh yeah. But like, you know, Dracula, Frankenstein, the Mummy, Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, the Creature, all these characters and these monsters are like pop culture icons. Absolutely. They're a huge, huge part in these movies. And they're not only that, they're staples of Halloween and the horror genre in general. Like
Yeah,
literally, look at the classics or look at all the stuff that they've involved. Because 2020 we got a remake of The Invisible Man. I haven't seen it. Um we got The Last Voyage of Demeter and James has seen the movie. Don't spoil it. I haven't seen it yet. But Renfield.
it's just I really, really love Renfield. I'm a giant sucker for any Nicolas Cage movie. I thought the action was beautiful in it. I really like Nicolas
I
Cage.
love Nicolas Cage.
He's by
He's
far my
great. We
favorite
talked
actor.
about him in the last
Yeah,
episode. We were talking about Alien actually, I
yeah.
think.
Nicolas Cage and Daniel Radcliffe are my two current favorite actors due to the fact that I like the films that they take. I like the fact that they go and do fun things they want to do. They don't take usually don't take like major blockbuster films or Marvel deals. They come out and they do weird little indie things and side
Hmm.
projects for most other actors that they
Oh
just because
yeah,
it seems like they like them.
yeah. It's just for the hell of it, rather than just like, oh, I'm gonna get paid. I'm gonna get a big paycheck from
Yeah,
doing this.
I like seeing unique roles like that. I like seeing more interesting things done like that.
But yeah, like just I don't know why every time we get like to near the end of an episode, we go like just get so philosophical about movies. I don't know why. I don't know why it just kind of happens every time. I just noticed this. I'm like, oh, why am I thinking all these stuff now? I gotta said this earlier. Oh
Oh
well.
yeah, a neat little detail about Renfield. This is not. I don't consider this a spoiler because it's in the first few minutes. But they went and redid the original scenes in black and white in the original aspect ratio with the actors from that film.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. That's why I was
Yeah,
saying that the meat you know they kind of transfer over.
yeah. It's just the fact that they did that. It just made me smile so damn hard when I was sitting there watching the film.
That's so good because again, they don't need to do that. They did it because they wanted to. That's awesome.
Yeah, they even recreated the same lighting effects, like that very famous the bit of Dracula with the light just like going in a band across his eyes. That scene.
Hmm. But I love when like movies, like newer movies, bounce off from the older ones because there's between like let's say like you know Dracula, Bela Lugosi's Dracula, and then Nicolas Cage's Dracula. The acting, the style of acting's different. It's unfamiliar. The pace is different, but it's just like, of course, Dracula might be scary in the sense that modern horror movies might make you like jump or have you know be like up all night, like oh my god, there's gonna be a ghost in my closet. Oh god.
Yeah,
But there is a palpable sense of dread because Bela Lugosi's eyes are freaking haunting. Like, he stares into your soul.
Oh yeah,
And creepy.
his
And
facial acting is phenomenal in the original
and
film.
oh yeah, and the scene in Frankenstein where the monster just hurls a little girl to her to drown, like he just drowns this kid. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's
Stuff like
insane
that.
they even showed that in the original days.
Yeah. Um, the like um the Wolfman's fate sucks. That's sad. Um, the Emotep's creepy. Just it's just pure scares are just one aspect of horror. Like, you can have jump scares and make a movie scary, but the thing about the classics is that they have so much emotion and artistry in them
Yeah,
that it says nothing of their foundational importance to the genre. It just is there. It's
I
groundbreaking.
yeah, I feel exactly the same way about the older ones. Is that a lot of modern films focus really, really heavy on trying to startle and really scare the audience, and I think that's fine. But
Mhm.
I just feel like a lot of them miss the old ghost story tale telling type of form that a lot of the originals did.
Mhm.
Like, one of the reasons I liked Midsummer and, Hereditary a whole bunch was because of the fact that they kept a lot of storytelling elements really, really heavy in their
Mhm.
film. You're watching a story, but a scary story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
But it's
one of
cool.
the criticisms I have. I'm sorry, I cut you
No, go
off there.
ahead.
But that's just one of the main criticisms, despite how much I really like the Friday the 13th series. The storylines feel vaguely disconnected, and it feels like it's more there specifically for Jason to show up and slash people, which I
Mhm.
feel like it was a little less like that in the first film where it was, Jason's mother, Pamela, because it was more of a story and a lot more of a mystery, but I still feel like that's one of the examples I'm talking about where it disconnects partially the story and the horror portion.
Mhm.
I'm sorry I'm going on a ramble, I'm a giant fucking nerd when it comes to horror films.
No, this is why we are here. Go for it.
Yeah. That's my personal feel on how a lot of horror films tend to be, and why certain ones just resonate so far more with me, especially like Alien, because
Mhm.
I love the stories of them. I want to get scared. I like watching gore, but story is such a massive part of it.
Such a key part because that's going to be the make or break of a film. Because you can have the scariest movie. You can make a movie and have all of these really creepy things happening. Like, you get jump scares here, some weird stuff here. Okay, let's take the Slender Man movie for an example. They try to, I know, ridiculous, but they try to jam pack all of these jump scares and crap into this movie, and it doesn't do anything. They don't have a story. It's really hard to follow. They don't have a good make or break of the characters. No relationships. There's no story for you to follow along. So those jump scares and all that stuff that they do doesn't make sense. The
Yes,
only way that would make sense is if, you play the games and you're like, oh, okay, I know the story. If you're just somebody that's going, like a parent that's going with your kid to watch this movie and you have no idea what Slenderman is, and you're watching this movie, you're not gonna get it. It's not gonna make any sense to you. So I'd much rather watch, and honestly, all of my favorite horror movies are those that don't really have jump scares. But it's just the unsettling and the nerve that just has it's in there that freaks me out. Like Midsummer has like maybe one or two jump scares, but it's
yeah.
so fucking surprising and shocking
And it's
that
primarily
makes up
daylit.
for it.
Yeah. It's primarily taking place in the day too, which is
Yeah.
another really phenomenal thing. I also have nothing but good things to say about Ari Aster's films.
Oh god, he's awesome.
It's Ari Aster and Jordan Peele that I feel like are my two favorite modern horror directors.
Mhm.
We'll have a whole conversation about those films at another date because we will
Yeah, that'd be way
if
too
we get
long.
on if we get on that track, we won't shut the fuck up.
No, never. But it's just, and it's so funny because I constantly hear, because again, I'm a fan of classic monsters and all that, and I have, clothes and stuff, my purse and all that people look at. And people are like, Why do you like that? That's so old. It's not relevant anymore. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
They absolutely still hold up. Because I mean, I'd say it's fair to say that the original monster lineup are far more recognizable than any collective identity intertwined with our basic definition of monsters. Because whenever anyone really hears the word monster, you think of like, oh, Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, the Mummy. You think of all these characters that came before everything else. Like Halloween decorations from like commercials. They're all of these characters.
Yeah.
Like monsters when used in television. They're usually, ghosts, zombies, mummies, all these things. And like they're even ingrained in like regular stuff. Like Harry Potter in The Prisoner of Azkaban. They have a werewolf in there.
Yeah. Werewolves
Like,
have been a massive, massive portion of folklore for a very long time, especially.
mhm. Yeah, they got that. Hotel Transylvania, Dracula, and all those characters. We have but the same names. Frank is the monster. Jack Griffin is the Invisible Man. We got I know Murray is the Mummy, but they do
Actually,
obviously. But
I actually rather like the Hotel Transylvania series, especially the first one, because I think it's a
yeah,
really cute little
yeah,
film from people
young
who really love
yeah,
the original Universal ones.
Young Frankenstein with Mel Brooks movie. That's a play
Yeah.
off of Frankenstein.
It's funny because I've watched the Mel Brooks one many, many times, but I haven't seen the original Frankenstein.
I have. It was a while ago though. I'll have to get up on
I'll
my.
have to watch it. I think it's sitting on my shelf. It is sitting on my shelf over there. What's wrong with me?
Well, I'll come over and we can watch it again. But
We
uh
we should take a whole time and just watch a bunch of the classic monsters sometime.
we absolutely should. I'd be so down for that. But also think about it. These movies not only were they seen as an art, but these movies are also what got Universal through the Great Depression era. They basically are the backbone for the horror renaissance if you really think about it.
Yeah, they are. They legitimately are.
So, I'm
That's
very passionate about the classic monsters, and if anyone ever insults them, I will punch them in the dick.
that's really funny. I didn't realize that the Invisible Man in the Hotel Transylvania was actually named Griffin too.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
thought that was
funny.
funny.
That's really funny.
Very funny. You got anything else to add? Because I think I'm spent.
I think I'm spent too. I've ran my mouth a lot this episode, especially.
I know. I'm glad you're getting more comfortable.
Yeah, and some of them I don't fully have a very large amount to say sometimes because I tend to just not talk a whole lot. But especially when it becomes to something that I really, really, really get into, I won't shut up.
Fair enough. It happens.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, I guess with that, we will go ahead and end our little Halloweeny episode here. Again, we apologize if it's a little short or kind of all over the place. That's just kind of what happens when me and James get passionate about something. We lose track of everything, as you probably all know by this point. So I'm not even gonna say anything. You know what? I'm not even sorry.
hey, that's what you guys come for, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm good. I guess James is good. So, well, thank you again for tuning in, everybody. We greatly appreciate any sort of support that you give us. It's fantastic. Gives us the
Yeah,
chance to geek out about the stuff that we love.
yeah,
And yeah. Well, um I'm gonna go ahead and let James do this one because he never gets to do the outros. It's always me. So go ahead, James.
yeah. Well, of course, everyone. Thank you again for coming out and watching us. We really appreciate what you guys do, and thank you for listening to us. And of course,
Yes.
being that it's Halloween, especially, I want you guys to really stay spooky now.
Say spooky.